Hey guys, I am loaded up. I have a bunch of stuff in my pockets. I am heading up to the garden to get some stuff done. I just decided it's about 50 degrees here today, which is beautiful for me. I do not see any freezes in our 10-day forecast. It's going to be in the 50s and 60s. So I figured I would at least come up and get some garden beds ready to plant. I haven't done much in my garden at all yet. The last video you guys saw, I was up in my garden in a t-shirt and I told you that we were supposed to get snow the next day. We got over a foot of snow the following day, so that kind of like restarted everything. So I have a lot to do, so I am thoroughly overwhelmed already. I don't even know where to start, guys. I don't know what to do. So first of all, I'm looking at my strawberry plants and I don't see any growth coming from them, but I see growth coming from a lot of things, and including the strawberry runners that spilled out of the other pot. So I think my strawberries are gone, but I don't really want to pull them out just yet. I want to give them a little extra chance yet. At this point, I don't think I can overwinter strawberries. I've tried a dang near about every method. Covering them up, keeping them covered, covering them up lighter, and uncovering them sooner. I did bring seeds up here too, just on the off chance that I felt like throwing some like radish seeds or green bean plants in the ground a little early, because why not? All right, let's just start. So for people who don't live on farms or garden much, the idea of using old aged manure might seem very gross to people that are trying to grow their food, but the worms love it. That's a great sign. That is a great sign that this pile that we took from the pasture last year, that's comprised of dirt and horse poop, that has been breaking down for over a year at this point, is home to all of the things that's necessary to make a healthy garden. So I'm using my hands to break some of the chunks up and mix it up, and I can tell you this does not even look like horse poop anymore. So yes, it's horse poop, but it's so broken down. It's been rained on. It doesn't smell like horse poop. It smells like good, healthy dirt. So while it may seem disgusting to some, I assure you that gardening is dirty. Farming is dirty. And this little worm is not very happy that I woke him up from his slumber. But it's good. It's a good sign that there's good life in here. And he will add, I'm going to leave him in this container that I just added all this to, and let him continue the cycle. Worm poop is amazing for your garden. Now, the worst part about using manure, aged manure, is most of the time it breaks up. I'd say about 90% of it breaks up and breaks down. But occasionally you'll get some hard chunks. And so everything looks kind of lumpy and bumpy. And while those do break down eventually, sometimes, like especially if you're planting root vegetables, those hard chunks can interfere with the growth of your plants. So I'm trying to break up a lot of it for the most part, but for the most part the root systems will find their way around that kind of stuff. And the only root vegetables that I'm going to grow this year are radishes, which aren't going to be in any of these beds. So I'm not too worried about it. It's just not as aesthetically pleasing, which my garden is never aesthetically pleasing. Oh, this is just such good stuff. But it's good. It's healthy. I've found so many other little bugs in here. But seeing that worm made me very happy. Very, very happy. I am not recording everything that I'm doing in here because it's just so much extra work to move the camera around, and then I have to work around the camera. So I'm just getting little bits and pieces. This little bed was my little decomp bed last year, so it's got a bunch of old pepper plants and stuff at the bottom of it. And I think this bed, one, it's gonna be extremely fruitful, I think. And two, I think this is gonna be my toddler's garden bed. She really wants to grow some stuff this year with me. And I want one that she can easily access. But I also want it to be in my garden because we have cats and chickens, and I don't want her to have a little space somewhere else in the yard that the animals are going to wreck. So it's a little bit more protected in here. All right, I got my strawberry pots filled and topped off. I have this one filled. I topped off my pepper bed. My radish buckets, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with because, like I said, I want to make sure what I put in there is well broken up. I am out of that aged manure pile that I just used. I'm all out of that. So I have to take the Ranger and go over to our big compost pile that we've been putting chicken scraps and chicken bedding in all winter long and see how broken down that is. Hopefully I can use it. If not, I'll just go grab a couple more bags of soil from the store at some point and use those. Because if that pile's not ready, I don't want to use that. So this is from the back of the pile because all of that's fresh bedding. This is from the back of the pile, the oldest stuff we got. And while that looks fairly broken down, I still don't. I think I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna hold off on using this pile just yet. That back is looking really good though. And I think I can use that throughout the summer. If not, for sure, I can use that this fall to top dress my beds. But I think we'll keep letting that break down for now, and then I'll go to the store one of these days when I get around to it, and use that to top off the beds that I have left. I'm noticing some of the trees are budding, and it makes me happy. So, distracted. All right, let's go back to the garden and see what else I can do without more soil. All right, I have officially killed 2 batteries on the Weed Whip. So I think I'm gonna call it for today on that. I got the border done, and then I have done a little bit of some of it. I'm gonna rake up what I've cut down. And the grass that I cut, I don't think I weed whipped in August at all. So it was mostly late summer dead grass, and then it's a lot of Bermuda grass coming up, and there's clumps in the garden bed too. And I'll probably go through periodically here and then throughout the summer and just weed a little bit. But I mulch pretty heavily. Honestly, it's just more aesthetically pleasing to me to have the edges grass free. So I'll show you what I've got done. I'll compare it to what I have to do yet. And it makes a little bit of a difference. And then I also need to weed whip on the outside of the garden. That will help make it look a little bit cleaner too. But let's check out what I just did. So I removed this bucket, as you saw, and I weed whipped all around here. This is pretty cleaned up around the edge. Like I said, I have to go on the outside and get that grass. But the brick, I have to rake it yet, but pretty clean. You can see a lot more now And like, it looks so nice. You can see the edges, and then I was able to come over here. I don't know what I was able to record. And you can see my rock edge barely. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna rake it up, but you can see over there, you can't see the rocks at all over there. So, looks a little bit better. But I'm gonna rake up some stuff, and then I'll finish weed whipping a different day, probably tomorrow. Ooh, a little leaf tornado. Wow. That's kind of cool. I don't know how much of that my video caught, but yeah. So let's clean up a little bit more and we'll make a list for tomorrow. Guys, I'm calling it a day. I did a lot of weed whipping. I raked everything up. I put my green stock together. I cleaned up everything. The garden looks so much bigger right now that I've done all that. I hacked down the middle bed that had all those tall flowers in it. So yeah, tomorrow I'll come back out and finish weed whipping around the outside of the garden and finish weed whipping the bed borders, and then I'll probably take the weed whip to the middle bed here too, because that's just got mostly tall grass in it. And as much as I would ideally love to come out here and dig up those clumps of grass, I just don't know that that's gonna happen. I think that's gonna be my pumpkin bed this year, so I will just come out and, you know, maybe I'll use that that compost pile for that bed and just pile that on. I need to get a few bags of garden soil to top off some of my containers and my green stock. But yeah, I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you guys. It looks much nicer, much cleaner, and I have much less anxiety now going into the garden season. Check it out. I don't think I'm going to record anything tomorrow when I come out. And I apologize. This video was very scatterbrained. I have no idea what footage I got. I forgot about my camera half the time, whether it was recording or not recording. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to get off of this. And I apologize for kind of being all over the place. But that's kind of where my brain is today. So, anything's better than nothing, right? Check out these kitties. Holly. Hi. Oh, purring girl. Thanks for hanging out with me in the garden today. Hey, Nona. Alright guys, thanks for helping me clean up the garden today. We'll see you next time.